Hi, Tim. Guess you can hear.
Hi, how are you?
I guess let's start it. Even we are missing a couple of students.
Let's do it.
Yes, good. Today we're going to start. Did you buy the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I bought one.
Arrived?
Yeah, I went to the store and got it to Micro Center.
Wow, perfect. Yes, I would say buy that Raspberry Pi 3B or 4. It all works. Even the zeros, yeah, it works.
Any of them?
Any of them work.
Yeah. Let me go grab it real quick. It's downstairs. I'll be right back.
All right.
Where's that? Okay. This is the one I got.
Perfect. Yeah. It's nice to buy a kit because it will save you a little bit of money. Then if you buy separately, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, we the last 1/3 of our semester, we're going to do a semester project. And depending on what kind of project you want to work on, you might also need buy extra. You don't have to. It's not necessary. You can do a project as you already have. I did a lot of projects without buying a lot of hardware. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you try to open it, install it, or anything?
No, I haven't done anything with it.
Good. Because we are doing it today, teaching everybody how to do it today, so it's good. So what I'm going to start is right now I'm sharing my Raspberry Pi to you. This is what the Raspberry Pi looks like. The look and the feel, it's like Windows. So if you don't pay attention, you can be using a Raspberry Pi and think it's just another computer. There's no surprise, anything. It's all very easy graphic user interface, just like any graphic user interface you're familiar with. So if you click on this button, it's like the Windows button. So every application is listed. It's a very powerful little computer. So if you want to study programming, Python, Node, the Red is extremely powerful, especially if you want to talk to hardware.
Okay.
It's a graphic programming environment for hardware. So you can basically, using Node Red, connect your cell phone to your Raspberry Pi, control your Raspberry Pi, and then your Raspberry Pi control whatever you want to control. So it's really powerful. Mathematical tools, Java, if you take a Java class in computer science, that's an excellent little computer. You just practice programming in Java. The truth is the computer pros, the computer engineers, the computer scientists, they carry one of those and they do the real programming on this environment. I heard the simplest one is so what is the minimum you're required for you to have Raspberry Pi start up and running? Let's go to this document. So today I will started this PDF file. By the way, the Raspberry Pi operating system is the most powerful and most popular. You might wonder, is most popular Windows? Yes, Windows is a popular one, but Raspberry Pi is called Linux. I have this another Linux. Did you saw another Linux? This runs on my PC over there. I have a couple of old laptops. It's too weak to run the Windows because not enough computing power. But it's perfect running Raspberry Pi operating system. They don't call Raspberry Pi, they call it Linux. So I'm running Linux. That's a popular version of Linux called Mint. So you can install Mint on any computer, and then you have a similar environment where it's extremely powerful and also make your computer useful again. You can use it to do anything you want to do. It is because it's more powerful than Raspberry Pi, it can do a lot more than Raspberry Pi. Anything this computer can do, Raspberry Pi also can do. It's all about computing power. This platform is called open source. It's a wonderful world of open source. Every programming you see right here came from dozens of years of work because it's open source. So it's all started like 40, 50 years ago. They keep modifying. Open source means everybody can contribute, and it's free to use here. And it's the most powerful. Another reason why you run Linux. One word, power. You have so much power. That's what a real computer engineers, their computer is Linux-based because either Windows nor Apple Macintosh, it's just a pretty face. It's extremely inefficiency underneath. Apple may be very efficient because Apple is based on Linux. The core is also Unix Apple. But Windows, it's terrible operating system. Linux is open source, but because of 40, 30, 50 years of research and development, open source. It's huge. It's huge. Every application, you can find the source code. Basically, you can change it, you can edit it, you can modify it, you can contribute it. If your contribution is good, it's accepted, it became official distribution. So people, so if you read the source code, people everywhere from around the world contribute to this powerful system, open source. All right, let's go to the Raspberry Pi user guide. Let me share my user guide. I hope I can find it. User guide. Okay, I found it. So this user guide is the best guide. It's an official guide. So it's the official user guide from Raspberry Pi organization. Let me make it big. Okay. It's the best way to start to learn Raspberry Pi. So this official guide We will start chapter 1. Chapter 1. Okay. Meet the Raspberry Pi. When you see the Raspberry Pi, this is a Pi 3. You have Ethernet, you have USB, you have television, you have speakers, and you have power. Similarly, you have Pi 4, it's similar. The only difference is you have 2 television connectors. And that's micro. So you need an adapter. You need an adapter like this. You can buy a cable, or alternatively, you just buy an adapter. Adapter looks like this. This one. So one side is micro, the other side is the full-size HDMI. So you can plug in to your TV. So that's Raspberry Pi 3. I will probably buy a $35 minimum 4, but I don't have 4 right now. So I was thinking like a team was doing, drive to Micro Center, but it's an hour drive. Yeah, pick it up. So this is the older version of Raspberry Pi, Pi 2, which also works. We actually have, last time I taught this class, one of our students bought this, Pi 0. Pi 0 works too, especially the new Pi 0. This Pi 0 do not have Wi-Fi. The new version of Pi 0, which I consider the thing is $5 or $10, Pi 0, $10 maybe, has Wi-Fi built in. So you can actually do a project on Pi 0 with Wi-Fi. So it doesn't matter. A lot of our students ended up buying multiple. Like me, I have 6 Raspberry Pis. Every Raspberry Pi is turned on 24 hours a day. So I'm using every one of those. So it's a good start. You started with 1. A lot of people ended up like it so much, they buy multiple for different purposes around their house. So the CPU inside Raspberry Pi is called RAM, R-A-M. Have you heard of RAM? R-A-M, ARM, not RAM, ARM. R-A-M, A-R-M, I'm sorry, A-R-M. Well, you probably have dozens around your house. If you have a smart TV, 90% of smart TV inside is ARM CPU.
Are they a chip maker?
Yeah, no, ARM didn't make chip maker. That's the key. ARM only sell the design.
Oh, okay.
It's called IP. So they only sell licenses to chip manufacturers.
Okay.
So they design the processor, and everybody use their design. So if you buy a Apple cell phone, chances are the $1,000 you spend buy that flashy iPhone, $2 or $3 goes to ARM for licensing fee. So if you buy a Google phone, inside same thing, ARM. If you buy a e-book, ARM. If you buy a router, inside is ARM. So ARM is huge. It's huge. Pretty much every electrical gadget is ARM based. And that is the computer we're going to use, Raspberry Pi. So what you are holding, if you already have Raspberry Pi, is 90% of all the gadgets, the processor. So ARM is from is based in British. It's a British company. So ARM started in the late 80s. Developed by the Acorn computers. Okay. Now, every year, tens of billions of ARM-based devices were made and sold. Yeah. So it's considered the most popular platform. You know, how many electrical gadgets, you change your cell phone every 2 or 3 years, right? But I'm still using my 10-year-old, 20-year-old computer. So that is x86 platform. 86 platform is big and powerful, but ARM is use much less power. It's called a RISC system. RISC. So ARM is a perfect example of a RISC architecture. This architecture has very low power draw, so perfect for your cell phone, for your handheld game consoles. This Raspberry Pi runs on Linux. So not only it's based on the most powerful processor, most popular, it's also using the most common operating system, open source. So Linux runs on every platform. So if you have an Apple, you have an ordinary PC, whatever you have, you can always find a distribution of Linux and run that platform on run that operating system on that platform. So it only makes sense if you have a new computer like Raspberry Pi, you will port Linux to that platform. So that's what we're going to use Raspberry Pi. The next thing is how to connect all the parts you purchased. At the beginning, you need a television. Everybody has one, right? I think you have 3, right? Yeah, everybody has 3. So TV, which plug in right here. And you also need alternatively, you can buy a flat screen. You can buy an LCD screen. If you go to last year, I teach this class, one of my students went to Micro Center. They just found a 9-inch LCD with case. $60, usually $100 something. $60, and it's wonderful. He just put his Raspberry Pi inside the case, and now he has a complete touch screen. So this Raspbian operating system support touch screen. Not only so, basically you have almost like an iPad, except it runs on Linux. So alternatively, you can have a Raspberry Pi touch screen display. Usually cost $30 like 70 to 100 something. But if you see one on sale, grab one. It's worth it. The audio generally is automatic if you plug into TV because the HDMI has audio. So, and then you need a keyboard and mouse. You don't have to have a special one, but a lot of our students buy the Bluetooth one. So you can have a wireless, or you can have this wireless, this one. So it works. So any keyboard or any mouse, USB works. USB mouse and keyboard, all you need is to plug in here. And what do you need to have last? Is SD card. You need the SD card at least 8 gigabytes. Bigger is better. Faster is even better. So if you on the market buy one, buy the newest SD card, high speed. Because your SD card basically is your hard drive of your computer. When you think about it, every file, everything came from the hard drive. So if you want to speed up your Raspberry Pi, worth the money to buy a couple of SD card. I have a couple here, SD card. So this small one, tiny ones, yeah. Okay. Let's see, micro SD. What's next when you get everything? I think Tim has everything already, right?
I think so.
SD card, yeah.
I got everything.
Keyboard, okay, keyboard, mouse.
I don't know. Can you use the keyboard from your laptop?
Laptop, yes. And of course.
Yeah, then I have everything, I think.
Do you have one of these? You have one of these, like a mouse? Yes, that works. That's all you need. All right. The next thing you do is, Tim, is your SD card already loaded with the operating system?
I don't know.
I think it's loaded. So
yeah, I think it is too.
If it's loaded, it saves you some time. If it's unloaded, you need a copy. You need to copy your download first. You need to download and copy your operating system to your SD card. So let me show you in my system where those operating systems are. Okay, let me switch over. Right now, this is where my so this is the Raspberry Pi image. So 3. If you have 4, you need to download the 4 or download the 3. How big is this? 5G. So it's a 5 gigabytes download. 5 gigabytes. So it's a pretty big package, 5G. After you download the software on your SD card, next thing you do is connecting to power. What kind of power? Generally, if you have a 3, you need 2 amps. 2 amps. Or 1 amp. 1 amp works, but 5 watts. Yeah, 3, you'll have minimum 1 amps. If you have a 4, you need a minimum of 2 amps. So just look at your USB power supply. If you say 2 amps, it works. I have a couple of those 2 amps USB power supply. So you don't have to buy a brand new one. You can just use whatever you already have. So USB power, once you plug in, this is what will show up on your screen. So when you plug in the power and you have your choice of operating systems, even Windows 10, how many different operating systems? Dozens, potentially, dozens of choice. The official recommended is this, Raspberry Pi OS. Raspberry Pi OS, that's the official, that's the one we're going to use. What about this? Last weekend, I actually installed one of these, OS, Open Source Media Center, Open Source Media Center. It's a wonderful way if you just want to use your Raspberry Pi as a media center. Right now, I have one just in front of me. This OSMC, this guy, OSMC. It's only 200 some megabytes downloads. So it's a smaller package. By being smaller, it's much faster. I ran it on 3, on my Raspberry Pi 3. It's so smooth, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm watching TV. Basically, you're watching hundreds, if not thousands of anything you want to watch. You can find one on that media center. So I was even watching some local channels from a small city I never heard of. Watch local news, which high school win the football game, you know, that kind of thing. So you have your choice. You started with the official, so click on this one, this guy. So once you click on it, and it will start the installation. Because it's 5G download, yeah, it takes some time. That is one way to install. There's multiple ways to install. You can install it manually. This is what I did. I flashed from Linux because I have a Linux computer right over there on the side table. So that's what I did. I followed those steps on Linux. I also can flash in from a Macintosh. If you have a Macintosh, MacBook, you do this, you do this. If you have, so depend on your system. So you can do your installation, depend on what you have.
What if you have a Chromebook?
Chromebook works, yeah. You just install Linux. Yeah, Chromebook are already Linux. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. You can use Chromebook. Probably the similar as this, not here. Yeah, similar to this, yeah. Linux, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chromebook. All right. Then we will move to the administration. So Linux is a multi-user. You as the users have different levels of users. The user has the most power is called admins. administrators. So you, by installing the system, you are the super user. And you can also assign many users. So basically, everybody can share one computer, log on the same computer. So it's a multi-user platform, multi-user. So the first thing you want to do when you have a Linux set up and ready is change your password. Change your password. So how do you do it? How do you do it? Let's see. Yeah, how to do it? Just click on the Pi configuration and change the password right here. Change the password. So it's pretty easy. Linux has a GUI. That's a graphic interface. So this is the GUI we are looking at. So it makes everything almost as easy as an Apple computer or as easy as a Windows computer. So you can change your host name, whatever name you want it. Another thing you want to do is enable this SSH and enable VNC. Let me switch over to my Raspberry Pi, and let's show you what I mean. So you go to okay. So this is the Raspberry Pi.
You said
This is
enable?
Yeah, this is all my Raspberry Pis. I will connect to this one. So that will be the Raspberry Pi, assuming this is on TV. Right now it's not on TV. I will tell you about it. But assuming you are running it on TV, you go here, Preferences, Raspberry Pi configuration, you click on that. And now you change your password, and then you click here, Interface. You enable SSH, enable VNC. What is SSH? SSH called remote login. So once you enable SSH, you can control your computer remotely anywhere around the world, from anywhere around the world. Remotely. So does VNC. So these two, basically, this is a remote desktop. So right now, I'm showing you is VNC because I'm not using a TV. I'm just a VNC into the Raspberry Pi. I'm using a VNC client on my computer. So you can actually have a VNC client on your cell phone. So just take out your cell phone, search an app called Vnc Viewer. So if you have a cell phone right now, look at Vnc Viewer. Let me find one for you, Vnc Viewer. Yeah, it's the first search.
Blue one?
Yeah, Vnc Viewer. Let me show my cell phone to you. I really like this platform because I can do so much. Let me share. Okay, now you see my cell phone, right? That's the Vnc Viewer. All you need is download this program on your cell phone, and you can actually control your cell phone from, control your Raspberry Pi from your cell phone. You do not need a TV, you do not need a keyboard, you do not need a mouse. This is called the running Raspberry Pi headless. Without head, just the body. So right now, I'm running my Raspberry Pi headless from my computer. So this is a VNC client on my computer. So basically, I'm using my computer's keyboard and mouse and the screen to control my Raspberry Pi. So you can just plug in the Raspberry Pi in your basement and forget about it. And then you can control it. Yes, a couple in my basement. I never even touch it. It's running there for like more than a year, still running. So, and then whenever you want to change your Raspberry Pi or you want to control Raspberry Pi, you just VNC or SSH to your Raspberry Pi. So this is VNC. Let me show you SSH. I don't have SSH to share. Let me start a SSH. All right. I don't have SSH. So let me share the SSH. Where is my SSH? Okay, finally I got my SSH. So this is how to using SSH to remotely control your Raspberry Pi. Notice the SSH is text-based. So what you do is SSH, this is called a terminal. This is called a terminal. So you open a terminal and SSH pi at, this is my IP address. So I will SSH to my Raspberry Pi. This is the first time it says failed. Let me do another one. Okay, now I successfully log in to my Raspberry Pi. Another one, not the one I have in front of me. So when you SSH to your Raspberry Pi, this is a text-based. So initially, it looks like a very poor interface. Yes, it's not very friendly. But this is actually the most powerful because it's needing minimum connection speed. You pretty much can control your Raspberry Pi using very little bandwidth, because you are not using graphic interface. And this is actually how the pros preferred way to control a computer from a terminal. This is called the terminal. So terminal is an important way to control our Raspberry Pi. So what the kind of command you can use on your terminal? The first one is called ls. You see, ls will list all the files in your directory. This is ls. You type ls, and it shows all the directories. And the next one is called the cd. For example, you can cd downloads. Okay, now you are in a different directory. And then you use ls. Again, it says it's an empty directory, right? Empty directory. And then you can cd ... go back to the previous directory. And also, you can rm. rm means remove. You can remove files. And what happens, also you can use help. This is help. So basically, it tells you how to use ls. So obviously, this is not a very user-friendly. This is not graphic. This is a terminal, text-based control. Why people is still using this? Because, again, freedom and power. Freedom and power. It's extremely free because it's so simple, and it's the most powerful. You can do anything on your computer. That's what the hackers, when the hackers hold the control of your computer, this is what they are doing in their basement, doing on your computer. We control your computer through this little terminal. So this is the SSH through terminal. You have to have a terminal program. So let me go over to the document. So where do you find a terminal program? Most operating system already has one. All right, that's SSH and Vnc. So what else we can do after we install the Raspberry Pi? First, there's the programming. You can do all kinds of programming. C. Every program have a source code provided. Usually is written in C. So C is obviously the most important. But a lot of people, it takes a while for you to be an expert in C programming. So a lot of people prefer Java or Python. Python is another good alternative. So we will do a couple of programming examples using Python. Yeah, Python right here. So you can do Python code. This is my favorite Node-RED. Excellent tool. In high schools, you can do Scratch, or middle school, even kindergartens. So they program uses Scratch. What is Scratch? Scratch is a programming environment like Legos. If you know how to play Lego, you know how to write a code. Anybody have Lego at home, right? So Scratch. Sonic Pi is another way to play music on Raspberry Pi. You can have the Office, math, draw, calculate, base, and writer. Complete suite of Office. Unlimited tool on here, internet. And games. Some students write their own game, Python game. So Python game with a source code, you can modify it. That can be a project. Some of our students just implement their own version of a video game. Yeah, that's good. Using Python. SD card copier. Yeah, that can be used to copy your SD card. So chapter 1 to chapter 3 are very easy, and I read a couple of Raspberry Pi introductions. This is the best. So if you want an easy start, if you do a Google search, you can find a lot of helps. A third of them is good, a third of them is average, a third of them is terrible. So if you're not lucky, you find a terrible one, it wastes your time. So you are guaranteed this is the one of the best. So guaranteed, it help you save your time, help you get started much easy. So read through it and do a little. This is the terminal on Raspberry Pi. So this is a terminal program. From this terminal, you can SSH to other Raspberry Pis. Of course, the easiest way is managing graphically. It's not the best way to do it, but it's the easiest way to do it. We always like the graphic in the interface. And that's the add and remove software. So there's so many software packages we can add and we can remove. Let's go to a Raspberry Pi and So now I connect it to my Raspberry Pi. So if I want to add a program or remove program, I just go to here, add and remove software. So it makes your life a little bit easier. So that's all the software packages. How many? I would say millions of software packages. It's all free. It's all open source. So when you click on accessories, it will update the newest list of all the accessories. So if you go through all the accessories, we are talking about the thousands or hundreds of programs right here. And then you can go to accessory tools. And then that's all the tools available for you to download. Communication. Games. Let's go to games. And remove. So you see there's so many, hundreds.
I'm not seeing any games on my screen.
You already installed the Raspberry Pi?
No, but I mean the screen that you're showing us.
Oh, okay. Am I sharing it right now? Games?
I can see your mouse cursor moving, but it's not doing anything else.
Did you say the games right now?
No, I don't even see anything that says games.
Yeah.
There's the core 0 is 4%, core 1 3%, core 0 5%.
Did you see it right now?
Yeah, now I can. I see add remove. Yeah.
Okay. And graphics. So that's where you'll find all the new programs, packages, basically unlimited. Limited number of software. So everything in the graphic, just spend some time familiar with this environment. So today, hopefully after class, you get your Raspberry Pi, you put it on your SD card, connect to your TV, and start play. And I have a student says they spend till the midnight. They forgot to sleep. Yeah, that's what it is. There's so much to play with. Also, you might encounter difficulties. What I found out, every difficulty can be solved by a Google search. So pretty much every problem you encounter should have answers online. Actually, right before the class, I have a little difficulty connecting to the VNCs. This VNC doesn't work. I just Google searched it and solved that problem, VNC. So I can show it to you right now. You're looking at VNC right here, VNC. So the problem I have before the class is the VNC. I have to go to the security. So I have a little problem, but I kind of solved it. Oh my, I turned it off. So Google will be a great help. You pretty much also, I have spent maybe hundreds of hours on this too. So some of the problem I may have answered too. So just email me during my office hours or during the class. Last year, one student, after 3 weeks, I went over to him, says, show me your Raspberry Pi. He said, I still haven't installed the operating system. I said, what's going wrong? He said, I copied to the SD card, plug in the SD card to the Raspberry Pi, connect to TV, nothing happens. Yes, he did it in front of me, nothing happens. So what's wrong? So it turned out he formatted his SD card the wrong way. You need to format your SD card using DOS format. So his computer is a new computer, don't even support the old format, which is needed on that SD card. So he copied all the files to the SD card. The Raspberry Pi don't recognize it. The Raspberry Pi need a DOS, DOS, the old operating system. You format that way. So I have his SD card formatted on my computer, and then every problem solved. So a lot of time you are stuck. I understand it. When you are starting this, you are new to this computer system, a lot of time you can get stuck. If you have the right people to tell you the right answer, you can get out of that problem within minutes. Otherwise, you may struggle for hours or days. So that's what my suggestion. If you get stuck, ask for help. Google first, and then ask for help. Okay. Anybody else got the Raspberry Pi? Jeremy, you got the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, I got mine already set up.
It works on your TV?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
How many hours you spend playing with your system?
Long time.
Long time?
2 hours now, 3 hours.
2 or 3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to download the real VNC, and I don't know, I'm like having problems, I guess.
Real VNC. Why you want to download the real VNC?
I mean the viewer on the app.
Oh, the viewers? Okay.
Yeah.
The viewer.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, the cell phone is nice, but doesn't work very well.
Okay.
Usually you use a computer because your cell phone does not have a keyboard.
Yeah.
And it's kind of strange. You can try I tried it and I deleted it.
Oh, okay.
So does almost all the students last year. They tried it. It's kind of nice, but they deleted it after a couple of days because it's not very convenient. The screen size, it's just weird.
Yeah.
But it's good start. Cell phone should be easy. I don't know. Last year, I had zero problem related to that cell phone Vnc Viewer. Everybody gets download and works instantly. You need to turn on VNC. Did you turn on the VNC on your Raspberry Pi?
I think so.
Okay, go to the configuration.
Okay.
Enable it.
Oh, yeah. I have that enabled.
You haven't done enable. That's why, yeah, you enable it. Yes.
No, I do have it enabled.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So like, and then like, do I download the app then?
Yeah, download the app.
Okay, I did download it.
You need to find the IP address of your Raspberry Pi.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, like where my IP address was.
Yes, wonderful, perfect answer. This is how you do it. Let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you how to do the. Oh, I just turned it off. Let me show you here. You open up a terminal. Did you open up a terminal?
No, but I can.
Yeah, open up a terminal.
All right. All right, got it. Now, you may show you my screen?
And then you type ifconfig. ifconfig.
All caps or no?
No, small letter, ifconfig.
Okay. Wait. So it's saying, are you reading that backwards?
ifconfig.
isconfig.
Let me show you. If.
It's saying command not found.
Let me show you here. ifconfig. ifconfig.
Oh, okay.
Type return.
Okay, got it.
Yes, that's your IP address right here. Mine is here.
Okay. All right.
Once you find that IP address, and then you can SSH to it, you can VNC to it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I think that should be good then.
Arturo, do you have the Raspberry Pi ordered?
No, I don't have it yet.
Okay, please order it. I think Micro Center has $35. You can buy one.
They have a lot of them there.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, I would just buy $35. But
no, I would recommend for in Tana kit. It's a kit and it will include everything. It will include the SD card with the noob system, like the loaded system. It will come with the power supplies and the HDMI cord, all that stuff. I can show you the link. And and there's also the 8 RAM, the 4 RAM, and then the 2 RAM. But the 8 RAM with all those kit, it comes up to 120 though.
Okay, well, send me that link and I'll take a look at it.
I can send it right here in the chat.
I got the 4 gig one at Micro Center for like $89-90.
What's Micro Center?
It's a store. It's on Metcalf.
Oh man. All right.
Wait, I'm sending it. Oh, that's it. All right. You see the link now? That's all right. Dr. Zhang.
yes.
There we go. I see it. Sorry.
Check out that link too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yep. And it, like you can see, like just the board is 75 though. You said it was 35, Dr. Zhang?
35 is a 2 gig.
Oh, okay, for the 2,
memory.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see it. And then if you go for the 8, it's 75 for just the board.
Yes, that's right.
Jeremy, you bought the one that's 140?
No, I bought the 121.
Okay.
Yeah, and okay, don't buy another power supply because it comes with a power supply. I thought it didn't have one, so I bought one. So now I have 2 power supplies.
I'm gonna buy the one without the power supply, so you can give me your extra one.
Oh, which one? The basic one?
No, I'm kidding. I'll probably get that $120 one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, cool. Thank you.
That's right. You don't have to buy the power supply. You probably already have one in your home. Yeah, one of those USB power supply. All right. Today, I just want to stop here and read chapter 1 to chapter 3. It's an excellent read. It's a very easy read.
Where do we read again?
That's on Canvas. It's the user guide.
The user guide? Okay.
User guide, yeah. Canvas, if you go to our directory, there is a, let me show you where it is.
Jeremy, did you put the heat sinks and the fan?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that tiny fan is kind of cute though.
Yeah.
You want to see it? I can show you.
I just set mine up.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, okay. You can't see it.
What color is your, yeah.
And see that little fan right there?
Yeah.
Excellent. That looks nice.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try and get mine to connected. I don't know. I guess I can't use my Chromebook because it doesn't have the HDMI connection on it.
Too new.
Wait.
You do not need HDMI on your Chromebook. All you need is an SD card. You plug your SD card to your Chromebook. You load the, oh.
Yeah, that's different.
Mine doesn't. The only connections my Chromebook has is the USB-C.
Okay. So this is where the user guides are. You go to our class folder and go to the files. What's the files?
Okay.
This guy, user book, user guide.
Is that? And okay, so that's for the Pi 3, but you know it can work. But I found another the PDF. It's on the chat. It's the one that I sent, the first one, and it's also an updated version for Pi 4 too.
User guide 5. Yeah, that's the latest one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the PDF file?
Yes, I do. You see in the chat?
Oh yeah, excellent.
Yeah, that's the Pi 4 latest or second edition, I guess. I think.
Okay.
Where I don't see it
in the chat. You don't see the PDF?
No, I just see the link you sent for the board.
Yeah, there's no PDF on the chat.
Oh.
Do you send it to him privately?
I send it. No, yeah.
I didn't see it either.
All right, let me send it again then. Or I can just email it to you guys. Or, let me try again. Okay, it's sending now. Yes, it's 37 megabytes. It's kind of big. Kinda.
Okay, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you see it now?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No.
Perfect. I will load it up to the same directory Jeremy sent to us, so everybody can have that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Also, I found really nice is you guys, if you guys work together, best way to learn is to learn from each other, because you will spend some time familiar with another topic, and the team will familiar some other topics, and then 3 of you get together, or 4 or 3 of you get together, and you find you can learn so much from each other just by casually talking.
Oh, yeah.
And I also learned from our students by teaching every year. I learned last year I actually did something our student did. I never done is the ad blocker. Ad blocker. It works pretty good.
Oh.
Ad blocker.
That's nice.
All right. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so right now.
Have fun.
Nope.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and plug mine in and see what happens.
I will kind of wait for you for a couple of minutes. Yeah. Everybody else, if you want to leave, just leave. I will stop recording also. So I will just wait a little bit for Tim for his